Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Get Your Act Together with Mike Bain. Yep. Thanks for listening. I got my friend, fellow comedian Jason Cordova on the show today.
What's going on, Mike? Thanks for having me, bro.
Absolutely, man. I'm happy to have you on.
Yeah, thank you to be here.
The second guest on the show.
Yeah.
Did we go back like a ways? Because I was thinking about this on the way over. I think you were like one of the first or second open mics I did at the Comedy Vault. Yeah,
that's where I started. Did the Vault, and yeah, like I remember seeing you. I remember you used to wear your hat like real low.
Yeah, I did.
You had like a whole little image going on.
Yeah,
I remember that shit. Dog.
I tried to be a hat dude.
It didn't work out. Dog.
No, it didn't, man. It's funny, man. I wore the hat when I had hair. Like and then once I was going bald, I was like, I don't want to be one of those dudes that wears a hat and then
cover it up.
Yeah, because people are gonna think I'm one of those dudes. Because I've seen you meet those people in life, but also on stage.
Yeah, where
it's comics who wear a hat, just a raggedy scally cap. It's never a good hat.
It's never a quality hat.
They always wear the same like shitty baseball hat. Right?
You know what it is? You know what it probably is? I just thought of it right now. You know what it is? Because when it's a nice hat, like this is a nice hat. Somebody, hey, let me see that hat.
Yeah, it is.
But if it's a shitty hat, nobody's going to want to see your shitty hat. You know what I mean?
When your hat is soaked in sweat,
nobody's going to ask you, let me see that hat.
No one's ever going to fucking touch it, dude. Yeah. No one is ever going to touch it. I just think
that would suck with women. You know what I mean? Like, every time she sees you got a hat, and then when it's time to fucking fuck or something, you got to take that hat off. And it's like...
Well, when they reach up to take it off, man.
Yeah.
That's like...
And you jerk back a little bit.
Oh, man. I used to have a thing for when girls would give me head wearing my hat. And I would...
Yo, comics be having the weirdest fetishes, dog.
Dude, you know what it was, man? Is I would make them wear it like sideways so they look like a hood. Yeah. I had such a thing... I've always had a thing for ratchet ass bitches. Like it's not an intelligent. Yeah. I've mostly grown out of it. Like, I'm very proud of the fact that I've mostly grown out of it. But for a long time, that
ratchet
was my
pussy's pretty good though.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's like it's you. In your younger days, at least in my younger days, I got the best pussy from ratchet bitches. Because they started fucking probably when they was like 13. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like they're way more sexually advanced by the time you get the pussy. Now they already done fucked at least 4 niggas. That's a lot for a 13, 14-year-old. You know what I mean? And those are the first, like ratchet girls are the first ones that would get on top for me.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they really were, because you could expect them to. They wanted to impress.
Yeah,
it was a big deal for them.
It was like an interview, like a promotion. They were promoting their pussy. It was like the trailer for the pussy. You know what I'm saying?
When they come in, it was always like a.
Because they're aggressive too.
Yes,
like,
it was
you know what I mean?
Oh, you ain't shit.
Yeah, exactly. They're calling you out, and then your heart starts beating, and your dick don't get hard. I hate bitches that put me in that fucking state when I was young. Because that's before you got your act together, and you knew how to like power through that shit. When you're young, any fucking poke at your ego, your dick just deflates.
It's done. It's done. Oh my god.
Like, why are you being this mean to me? I thought we was here to fuck.
Oh, dude, I had that happen. I remember. Dude, I had that happen with like this Lebanese hooker and with this like
what? She was a ratchet Lebanese hooker.
And this Guatemalan girl I fucked both times. They were like, "What you got, white boy? Huh? Give me what's that white dick? That ain't shit." And I was like, "Well, fuck you, right there." And like I tried to get up, but I was like 23, so I was it was one of those. Have you ever like punked yourself out of pussy?
What you mean? Like you try to convince yourself it wasn't that serious?
No, like you're on your way to get something. I would do this where I would get high. I'd smoke a blunt on my way. Like I'd be taking the train to hook up or a bus, and I'd smoke a blunt, and then I start thinking, what if I don't get hard?
Oh, hell hell yeah, dog. Sometimes you'll be thinking about that, like, especially when you're young, way before you're thinking about the day before. You be like, dog, why am I even thinking? I'm not even there yet. I know exactly. I'm talking about that shit for like days before.
I've done that, dude. I've done that where you're so excited to finally fuck a girl, and you're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You're not beating off because you're like, I'm gonna paint you a face,
exactly.
And you start thinking, what if I don't get hard and I ruin, like this is like a job interview and this is brand new. Yeah. This is A+ pussy.
Right.
And I'm putting it on a pedestal, which I shouldn't do.
Right.
All right. And you get amped up and then you get in your head and you're just like, I've done that where I'm like, all right, I can't get hard. And then I'm just sitting there trying to get
hard. And you ever did that thing where it's like you can't get hard, right? And then you try to beat off a little bit and it gets just hard enough. Then you put it in and bust in like 2 seconds. You're like, oh, there was just a train wreck from beginning to end.
Oh my God. It's so fucking worse.
There's nothing worse than looking at an unsatisfied woman.
Oh my God, I've done that.
You're like,
where you're fighting to get it close and you're like, all right, I'm ready. I'm almost there. And it's a piece of spaghetti, but it's still not fully cooked. It's still,
I call it the gummy worm. I always call it the gummy worm. That was my name for it.
You throw it in, and I did that, and then right away I was like, fuck.
Yeah, you feel it coming,
dude. I was a piece of shit when I was younger. I was at like an orgy or a gangbang. And then I was like, I couldn't do it because I was like, this is weird, man. Like, I was like, I don't know why I signed up for this.
Right.
And then I got drunk and I was like, you need to fucking go. Like, they threw me out.
They threw you out the orgy?
They threw me out, man.
How do you get thrown out of an orgy?
Dude, it was like at some fancy condo. I don't know. They had no idea. And I showed up with a pint of like 100 proof Southern Comfort and drank the whole fucking thing.
Oh, yeah. You wasn't ready for an orgy.
No, I wasn't, man. I wasn't ready at all.
He was not in orgy mode.
And I was like, fuck, I'm not into it. There's too many dudes here and shit. And I'm like, what if, and then I was trying to get with one girl. I did that and I go, I'm out. Like they were already like, you need to bounce. And I was like, well, now I have to bounce.
How do you find an orgy, bro? How do you get in that orgy community?
Dude, it was like, I would use like fetish sites. Like, you could use Craigslist, but that was fucking,
yeah, you was asking for it.
Yeah, dude. That FetLife and Calling Me. But those sites quickly creeped me out. Like, I was in this phase as a young man where, like, I've told people I've done a lot of kinky shit, and they think that I'm a complete piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, everything I did was consensual. And I was with, like, a girl who was way kinkier than I was. Mm-hmm. And it intimidated my young, like 20-something ego where I was like, oh, I can't let a woman out kink me, right?
Yeah, right.
So she was always coming up with crazy fucking scenarios.
Wild shit.
Like she was, so one of them was huge into rape fantasy. Oh. And a lot of girls are. Like more are than ever admit to it. A lot of them. It's very common actually. And she wanted me to put
my boy said his girl was into that before.
Put the whole fucking bandana on my face.
Oh,
I'd throw my hoodie up. I'd be like pretending to look through the window. I'd break in.
Damn.
I'd hold it down with a switchblade. Like I'm like, get into it. And I was like,
shit.
I remember being like, this is too real for me.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I went through it the first time and I didn't feel good about it.
Yeah.
And she was like, come on. Like she loved it. I was like, I can't do it. She's like, what do you mean you can't? I was like, you know what? I'm fine. Call me a bitch. Call me a pussy. This is too. Also, like, I can't stay hard. You punched me. You elbowed me in the fucking chin.
Right. Like, what the fuck?
This is a game. You're making this, like, uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it's just like, ugh.
I had so many
do that.
issues where, like, I let myself get into shenanigans because I was afraid of being intimidated. Yeah, I was like, the dude, because you grow up, you just think women are prim and soft, and you're a piece of shit. That's why, like, when you're a kid, you don't think women even shit. Like, I remember talking with my cousin when we were 5. We're like, dude, girls just pee. And they're like, really? Like, yeah, dude, the poo just comes out as pee. They can't. Women don't do that. That's gross. Only men do that. And your step mentality follows you into like early adulthood.
Yeah, and it just transforms into more stupid adult shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And it inhibits you as a man because it makes you easily manipulated and you become intimidated by women. You put them on a pedestal. Yeah. And that was something that I learned is women are just as ratchet and raunchy and filthy as any man can be.
And when you fucking actually, I wouldn't say get women, when you learn how to, because, you know, when I was younger, like I used to think because I knew how to get pussy that I knew women. And those are two different things.
No, it's not.
And then, so I'm going to say, when you learn how to get pussy, you learn how wild bitches really are, bro. Like, it's
animals.
It's it's like the Matrix, bro. It's just like you find, like, it's like this world you didn't fucking know existed. Yeah. Like, bitches are just foul. They have boyfriends. They'll fuck somebody else. I used to fuck this bitch. Like, I used to fuck her, and then right after she go see her boyfriend in jail. For like right after, nigga. And I didn't even showering or nothing, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I fuck, like, but the thing about it is, like, I fucked so many bitches in my life. And it's not a brag. It's just what I was doing at the time. And I've met so much wild shit, and I've met so many freaky bitches that I'm kind of like, it's hard for me to fuck with a bitch that isn't freaky, dog. Like,
I'm in the same boat. Yeah, I'm tainted, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm ruined.
Like, it's just like, and you know, like my thing is like, you know, like I said, we all got our kinks. My thing is like fucking in public. Like, I've fucked on some wild, like the wildest shit. I'm not gonna put the girl to it. One of the most ridiculous public fucks I ever did in my life was, I had left Sam J's album release party with my girl at the time. And we had to catch up. We took the bus up there because I didn't want to drive and shit. So I was catching like the mega bus or one. But you know, like sometimes like where they pick you up at just random places and it's like, why don't y'all just go where the buses are? Why am I at this corner, dog?
Dude, they're just right outside a Chinese restaurant in Chelsea.
It's like, so I picked up one. I mean, we was waiting for one, but we had walked over there and we had an hour to kill. And I hadn't fucked my girl in like 2 weeks. So I was like horny. I had been drinking. I had been smoking. I was just ready to fuck. So me and this girl just walking around New York, like, and mind you, this is like when we was first getting together. So she didn't know how crazy I really was about like this. I was like, yo, let's go fuck somewhere. I'm dragging her around like, come on, we can do it here. She's like, no. I was like, that's a construction site. Nobody's over there, dog. So what happened was I ended up talking to her. What's the big river in New York? Hudson?
The Hudson's on the west side and the East River's on the east side.
I think I was in front of the Hudson, wherever the bus drives, the Hudson River.
That's the Hudson, man.
Who's at the Hudson River? You know how like they got those plant pots like in the middle of the side? You know?
Yes, I do. It's to keep cars from driving in there.
Yeah. So I'm like, we're right there. I'm like, we could do it right here, right now. So we bend over in the middle of the street over this fucking plant thing. I lay down my coat like a gentleman so her knees wouldn't get fucked up.
You don't want to get dirt on her, right?
I don't want to disrespect the woman.
You don't want manure and fertilizer on her knees, man.
And she had a fucking, what are those things called? A romper on. So she really had to like take the whole shit off. So I'm like, once you go too far, once you're being freak, it's like, you got to finish this act. You know what I'm saying? So we all fucking and shit and all crazy. And then right when I'm like getting into it, when you're like too far to stop, but you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Of course, a bum, like the bench is probably like 20 yards away from us, right? He just sits there, just watching us, dog. And then fucking she's like, I didn't tell her after, like she knew, well, she didn't know because I didn't want her to freak out, dog. Yeah. I seen the guy. And then after I was like, oh shit, like when I was coming towards the end, I was like, oh, there's a bum right there, dog, watching us. And then we just cleaned up and left and we got on the bus and it was a beautiful night.
You can't tell him, man. Like the first girl I ever fucked, my friends opened the door to my room and peeked in. Yeah. And she's like, who's that? I go, it's no one. It's, dude, I've always like kind of had fears of that. Like I always had this paranoia, right? Because I come off like a complete Neanderthal brute, which to a degree I kind of am. Yeah. But I'm not mean. I'm not like
not
that.
A caveman, dog.
Yeah. Like in ways, but not in like, I'm not clubbing bitches. Everything I do, here's it. Like people look at me and they look like I'll tell a story and they think there's no way women like that shit. And I'm like, they do. Women are freaky, man. They come to me. Like I don't even, like once you know yourself and you give, the big thing is giving them an environment where they can get freaky with you and you're not going to blow up this spot. Yeah. That's the biggest fucking thing. And so many dudes I know would bang girls from the neighborhood and then they wouldn't, their mouth. And then that's done. That's over. And so I always found out that chicks would get freaky with dudes from other neighborhoods, right? Yeah. So someone would be like, I meet a dude from like Dorchester and be like, oh, I fucked this chick in Southie. And I go, yeah. And he goes, oh, she did. I go, what? Yeah. And this was why it's so much easier when you're on vacation.
Yeah, you don't want your freak to follow you home.
Because when you're on vacation, this is why New York was great for picking up women. They know they're never going to see you again. Yeah. That's why you can't do crazy shit in a small town. Yeah. Because everyone...
It just follows you.
They follow...
Everybody knows.
Everyone knows, man. Like, dude, I went on a bachelor party to Vegas with some friends of mine, and my friend, his fiance said you can room with anyone but Bain. You can room with anyone but Mike Bain. Straight up. She goes, anyone but Mike Bain. Anyone but Bain. And I go, what the fuck?
What kind of shit is that? Right.
And it was, you know what it was, man, is because I was always just honest with my shit. Like when I didn't lose my virginity till like 22. I just turned 22.
Damn.
I was late. I was fat in high school. I didn't know how to talk to women in college. I just sucked.
Yeah.
I was
just late bloomer.
I thought women just wanted me to be nice to them.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
I
was looking at it like it was this scientific equation that you'd see in a physics class.
Yeah.
And it's not, man. It's just 2 + 2 is 4. It's so basic.
It's literally not that deep.
And I went to Amsterdam to hang out with a friend of mine who's going to school there. And I just smoked weed, and he would go to class for 3 hours and be like, what are you going to do? And he went to school in the red light district. I'm like, I'm going to fuck some pussy.
Yeah.
I'm going to smoke some weed. I'm going to drink some Heineken, right?
I'm going to go crazy.
I'm going to have a ball. And dude, I got to like get all this shit out of my system early on that you just couldn't do with random chicks.
Yeah.
And I came back, I told all my dudes about it. Of course, they tell all their chicks. We all hang out in the same
It's the same circle.
clique,
Yeah.
and they start. So they have this thing of
they painted you out to be some fucking
and I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything, but your boyfriends are just as piggish as fucking I am. I'm just upfront about it. Man. I don't want to be. You can't blackmail me for shit that I'm open about.
I already
right?
know, right? I already told you about.
I'm like, dude, and then I went, and my friend was like, I'm disappointed, man. You didn't go crazy. And I go, well, dude, I had a girlfriend this time.
Right.
I'm not risking bringing shit home. I'm not.
Right.
That's
that's a different bracket.
Like my ex was. It was a fucking volatile, toxic relationship. So the sex was good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was like, that's why I stayed so long.
Yeah.
And that's what my fear is. This is a fear that I've had to deal with, that you just mentioned, was I've been conditioned to want relatively kinky shit.
Yeah.
Like not as kinky. Like I don't need fucking whips and chains. I'm done with that. I'm not setting up to have sex. Like that was mostly for the girls I was with.
Did I tell you, was you at my house, or was that just fucking Alex and fucking Liam the other day?
I was there last week.
Yeah. Did I tell you about my aunt has an OnlyFans?
Yeah,
page,
dude.
Bro, dog. And
dude, everyone has an OnlyFans,
and
man.
It's like that fetish shit, bro.
Oh,
dog.
it's
and
BDSM and
shit. It's gross, dog. It's gross. Like, it's like, yo, bro, like she goes hard, like promoting this shit. And it's
is she the dominatrix or the submissive?
I think so, bro. And it's like, that's fucking crazy, dog. Like,
at least like with a lot of the dominatrix shit, a lot of them don't ever fuck the dudes.
Yeah. It's just
they just beat them and kick them in the balls and shit and all that wild stuff. Yeah. So they can get away with not, like, a lot of girls don't even fuck on their OnlyFans. Some don't even show their pussies or get nude at all.
Just weird shit.
But it's like, dude, that's what I was like, I'm not dressing up in a suit to have sex, man. I'm not putting on leather. Too much work. Like
because you still gotta keep some of the spontaneity to sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to set it up.
Like, I've had girls who want to like Japanese rope play, and they'd show me a picture. And I'm like, this dude spent 40 minutes tying you up.
Right.
No,
that's too much work.
No.
I can't keep my dick hard for 40 minutes straight now before I even fuck.
Dude, I tie ropes at work. I'm a rigger. This is not what I want to do. This is work, man.
Bringing work home.
Like it was hipster sex. It was sex as an art form, and it's avant-garde. And I was like, nah, dude. Like,
we're animals.
God gave us what we need to do. I don't need all this extra shit to get out my fucking trauma. But I've realized I just need someone who can keep tempo with me. I've had these conversations with chicks where they're like, do you think you need someone who's at the same like tempo or wavelength? And I'm like, yeah,
that's
man.
the only way. It's like fucking, especially, and it'd be funny when it's like, like you fuck with a chick, right? Like, and at this age, bro, I'm corroded, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucked up.
I'm rotted. I'm rusted in my core.
So
man.
It's just like, you know, when you fuck with a bitch, and it's like, and you be asking them for basic shit, dog. Like, it's like that shit kind of we talked on my podcast. Like, you'll meet a bitch and you be like, yo, she won't suck your dick. You're like, this is going nowhere. I promise you right now, this isn't gonna last, dog. Like, and it's like, it'd be funny. You be like, when you meet a chick who don't suck your dick, you be like, yo, I fuck bitches who look 10 times better than you, who give me ridiculous dicks like, without me even asking, and you want me to beg you. And the thing about it is, like, I've never like had to talk a girl into give me head, and the head was great. Like if you gotta fucking keep asking her, you know this is gonna be some terrible head anyway, because she already doesn't like to do it or doesn't want to do it, so she's not gonna be enthusiastic about it. You already know that, man. It's just like
she's gonna be angry about it.
It's just like, come on, bro, and it's just like, come on, like what are we doing here? Like you don't suck dick. Like you how old are you? That's when you start asking bitch how old they are and
like
shit.
What is that? Like some 1920s shit? It's like dudes can't, like, and a dude shouldn't be saying I don't eat pussy either. Get down there, get in there. Right. You know, a lot of dudes will complain. It's like, well, when's the last time you went down on your girl, man?
Right.
Like, and some of them, like, I talk to dudes who just with women who hate sex, and that's tough, man. That's a tough one.
Why would you fuck with her though?
I used to have this argument. I don't think you can have a relationship if there isn't sex there. And I meet people who come from sexless relationships. Yeah. And I go, how is that? How do you express your love and adoration?
Yeah.
Like, if I like love a woman, I want to fuck
the shit out of her, right?
That's like, when I love you is when, like, I
I'm
look at you,
the best fucking.
You're in the kitchen, fucking, your hair's all gross, and you're in your dirty sweatpants, and there's a mustard stain. But I look at your booty, and I'm like, I just want to get you pregnant, bitch. Like, that's love, man.
That is love.
Love is when she looks gross, and you don't care because there's something about her you just need.
Yeah, love is when your fucking girl hasn't shaved in fucking 2 weeks and you still eat her pussy. You
don't give a fuck.
like it's not prickling your face when you go down there.
She's on her heaviest flow, and you're like, I'm fucking you anyway. Well, I cut my finger before. It's no big deal. I'm a grown ass man.
But yeah, and it's just like with shit like that, and it's like you said, like when girls like say shit like they don't give head and they don't do this, and like when you're fucking, especially in your 30s, past your late 20s, early 30s, like, you know, you're probably establishing the game, what you like, what you don't like. It's like, when you fucking with a bitch, and as soon as she starts saying don't, when you start hearing don't start, like your dick just starts getting softer and softer, and it's like, why am I even here, dog?
It's, what I've realized too is that's when you gotta like really keep it afloat, man. Because that's when, if you're not regularly, it does get stale. Yeah. It gets stale, man.
She's seen all your moves, you've seen all her moves, and it's just like, you know, you just got to do something.
It's like when you eat in the same restaurant so many times. Right. You got your favorite dish, but sometimes you're like,
it's like, come on.
I got to do something new. It's tough, man. It's tough keeping that spontaneity, and it falls on both. It's work, man.
That's where the public fucking comes
That helps, dude. That helps.
Oh, my God,
That's why if she's willing to, I think my favorite thing is when you explore with them. Yeah. Like when you both try something together.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah, because you both, you trust each other.
Yeah, you got to go to them. You ever been to like one of them freak stores with your girl or something? Yeah. And it's like, you know, and it's like, and sometimes it'd be like, you could, like you'll buy something from one of the stores and it's like, while you're doing it, it wasn't even the best thing in the world, but it's just the fact that she was willing to fucking do this. And it's like, all right, well, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think a lot of girls realize how excited dudes get for when we realize you're going to be kinky with us.
Right.
And that you want to be kinky for us. Right. That's what it is, man. It's like when I was with girls and if we did like a threesome, right? Mm-hmm. And eventually I had a girl I was dating go, I want to be polyamorous. And I'm like, I'm not letting other dudes fuck you. Here's the thing. I don't even want to need to go get side pussy or fuck like a side girl. What I want is to fuck a chick with you. Yeah. Like you're the fundamental component of this. I love you. I want to do this with you. It's you. It's watching you get into it with her or that gets me going, man.
Yeah. That's how it is though. It's a weird transition though, growing up. Like like I'm at a point, like I put on my dating profile that I want something serious. And I was like, wow, I did it, man. I even like jokingly said I want kids, but I do want kids. Like I want to meet a woman, like a decent, I just want a girl I can be with regularly. Yeah. It's so much time, man. It's just so much games and time and when you think about it, it's like dating and single. It's like there's no complete happiness in either of them, but but it's like it depends on what type of problems you want. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're single, it's like I'm fucking all these band of bitches. But it's like, then it's like, I gotta worry about if I'm gonna catch something. It's like I'm spending money to get up with these hoes, and it's like all this shit. Then when you're dating somebody, it's like, yeah, this is great, I love this girl, but she's fucking annoying as fuck just because we spend too much time around each other. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, at the same time, it's like, I'd rather be fucking with my chick than fucking rolling the dice on some random pussy every fucking couple weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Because you never know if it's going to be good. If you invest all this time.
You don't know who else she's fucking.
Dude, that's... I think I said this to you before. Like, I was talking to a girl, and she was like, here's some videos of this dude I banged this week.
Oh, yeah,
like,
you told me that's gross,
I don't know. No, now I know that you had unprotected sex. Now, no, I'm not...
Yeah. It's like Chappelle said, he's like, my dick is the star. my dick's the star, nigga. I don't want nobody guest starring in my shit.
Dude, that anxiety of worrying about if, that kind of stuff, like, even if I know girls mess around with a couple people, I don't care. But when I know she's messing around with, like, the whole city.
Yeah.
Especially in New York, where, like, dudes are flying in from fucking Nepal.
Everywhere, dog.
Like, with an STD you never heard of, man. Like, somebody has...
Right.
Somebody has the COVID-19 of venereal diseases.
Right.
And it's waiting to come out, and you're going to be patient number fucking 3. Okay?
Right.
I don't need that.
It's brutal, dog. And it's just like, especially now with this fucking, whatever the fuck women call this sexual liberation shit, whatever. It's just like, bitches be fucking out here, dog. Like, they be fucking like mad dudes.
That was kind of like why dating in the city can be tough, especially in a place like New York City.
Yeah.
Is there are so many options. Whereas like you date out in the boonies, like in Maine or North Dakota, they don't have much to choose from.
Yeah,
man. Like,
right. Slim pickings out there.
And you don't have to really even worry about STDs because it's not like
so many random
things
dicks.
are coming through. And what I noticed in New York is I would constantly be talking to girls who were hitting like right around like between 28 and like 34.
Yeah.
And they were like, I got to meet someone, marry, and have kids now.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Let's go for coffee first.
Yeah, let's chill the fuck out right now.
Let's talk.
Well, they get these fucking plans in their head, and then they try to push the shit on you, like just because your pussy's on the fucking back end of its fucking career. You know what I'm saying? like you got the mileage, like you done fucking had to turn how many fucking bad relationships, but you still want kids and all that shit. So now you're trying to like force that shit on.
Like a baseball pitcher who blew his arm out 8 times, and he's like, I want one more game, man. Let me get one more team for one last season. Dude, it was like that a lot, man. And I was like, they would always see me the same thing where I had just gotten out of a 7-year relationship. Right. And I'm like, hey, I want to have fun. And they'd be like, oh, how can you do that? When are you going to grow up? And I'm like, look, I did what you're talking about. Right. Thing, man. I tried to make that happen. I'm at a different point than you. You had your hoe stage. Fine. I think
have fun. Right.
We all do. I've had my hoe stage.
Right.
I ain't even judging you on that.
Right.
But don't do that thing where you should have seen, you knew this was coming. Like this was like, it's not like women or men go through different like time period. Like we all hit that fucking wall. When you're a dude in your 30s and your dick doesn't quite get as hard as it used to, man. Like,
every once in a while you get one of them high school boners and then like you're like, oh shit, what's going on?
That's when you know you're with the right girl, man.
Yeah.
Like when I was in my early 20s, I could get it up for anyone. Now there are times where I'm just like, you're pretty. I don't even like you as a person. And my penis got a sense of character.
Yeah.
He grew morals.
Yeah.
He's not shallow anymore.
Exactly.
Like I'll be with a girl and she's like, I don't even tip. And I go, what do you mean you don't tip? She's like, I don't tip. Fuck that. They can get their own money. And I'm like, now he's not going to fuck you. Yeah, right. You know what? This was going so good. Right. Like I'm trying to like be like, you're not a douchebag. Right. But my penis is like, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck this girl. Let's get out of here.
We only fuck bitches who tip 20% minimum.
Minimum. That's standard. But that's how it is, bro. It's just like
it's growing, man.
You just get adult, and what happens is when you realize, there's some defining moments when you realize you're becoming an adult, because it's like you don't react to the situation the way that you fucking usually would have reacted to it. You know what I mean? And you just like, and women and it sucks because like as men, the thing about men, we're fucking immature for so long, but when we finally become mature, it's just shocking for women, like, you know, women try to play on the fact that they think you're probably going to be immature and shit. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah.
Go ahead. Talk shit. Run your mouth. I don't fucking care.
Right.
Tell me I'm just like my dad. I don't whatever. Cool. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care that much.
My ego, like, dude, my ego got killed a long fucking time ago.
Right.
Like, when I had to hustle for as long as I have, any fucking ego I had was just like, my ego's in the gutter right now with a stab wound. Like,
and I fucking died when I used to, like, I could honestly say my darkest times in my life when I was living in an unfinished basement, bro.
Is this the one with like the
rats and shit?
The doo-doo water was coming down from the ceiling?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, when you're living like that, bro.
Dude, when you live like an animal, which I've done so many times in my life, where you live like an actual hand-to-mouth caveman.
Yeah, dog. And it's like, when you're living like that, it's like, you know, it's kind of like, you try to hold on to as much ego as you can, but there goes a moment when you're like, and this is the only way to grow is when you be like, yo, my life sucks. Like, my life is terrible. Yeah. It's in the toilet, literally and figuratively, because there's shit water coming out the ceiling right now. And it's like, and I have to do something about it. You know what I mean? It's some people who deny where their life's at. Those are people who never grow. You know, it's like them dudes It's like them dudes who still that you see and they're still on that high school shit, dog. You be like, dog, you're still trying to convince yourself you're cool instead of you admitting that you suck now, and then you could actually be somebody cool if you would have put the work in, dog. You know what I'm saying?
You ever meet those dudes who think they can ball like they're 16? Like
people call you up to play basketball. You're like, why the fuck would I play basketball right now, dog?
Dude, what am I, 5? Fuck you.
I'm about to hurt myself and be hurt for fucking 3 months, dog. I thought I'm gonna use my insurance on for that. Nah, fuck that, dog. Like, the fuck? Why are you calling me for basketball, dog?
Dude, it's so funny. Like when you talk with someone like that, or they can't let go. Like, I was just goofing around with my friend, challenging him to a race, and he's like, "Dude, I'll fucking destroy you." And I'm like, "I ain't trying to be mean, but you got at least 140 pounds on me, man. Like, I'm pretty confident
that you won't win."
I used to be a fat, unathletic dude.
Me too, bro. I know the life, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You know, this is why we become comics and chase pussy later on. And I was making up for lost time. That I felt like I would watch my friends getting laid in high school and college, and the reality is, you realize later on, the pussy they were getting, the sex they were having, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Like, the sex you're having at that age, it's not good. You don't know yourself. She doesn't know herself. Neither of you know who you are.
Right.
You're not comfortable with your bodies yet. And I idolized that, so I tried to get it, and then it's like, I'm chasing something that isn't there.
Yeah.
And it's like, you talk to a lot of people who are still kind of like frozen in their glory days, and I'm like, dude, I'm healthier now than I've ever been, mentally and physically.
Bro, I've been waking up at 5:45 to work out every morning.
Dude, I've been doing yoga.
Yeah, right. Like, just doing shit.
Who thought I would do yoga, man?
You just do shit that just helps you, dog. Like, you know, most of your life is destructive, but it's like, you know, when you actually take the time to do something that's like, it was just like at the quarantine, like, I was already kind of chubby, and then I just started eating sleeves of Chips Ahoy cookies and like just getting mad fat. And I took a picture of myself. I'm like, dog, this is fucking ridiculous. So I bought that fucking Insanity DVD shit. And I've been doing that. It's like, next week will be 60 days. I've been waiting 60 days, dog. Like, it's just like, and it's mad intense. My knees are killing me. And it's like, yo, you just gotta like.
It feels good, man.
Yeah, it feels good
to
so like be like
good.
I'm all flexible and shit, dog. Like, dude, I'm like, I got mad stamina, dog. Dude, you know what I'm saying?
I don't even need to get fucked up anymore. Like, I'll climb a mountain or do yoga, and I'm like, dude, look, I'm fucking flexible, man. I'm like Stretch Armstrong over here. I was just a fat lump playing video games for so long, and now. Like, I hiked these mountains and I was like, I can't do it. Yeah. And like, a couple of them were like genuinely like, I took my life in my own hands hiking this shit. And
just where you was at?
I was just like, I need to fucking fight nature, man. Yeah. But it wasn't even nature, it was myself. Yeah. It was like me I was in like the darkest place I've been in since like I got out of school in 2008 and I couldn't find work. It's like that all over again. Dealing with some family shit, a death in the family, and my dad almost died. And I was like, I get control of nothing, man. The world, nothing is in my hands. I'm going to take this shit in my hands. I'm going to get healthy. And I fucked my knee up doing it.
Of course you did.
But it's like, dude, I remember putting shit up there, motivational shit or something like that. And some dude on my Instagram goes, dude, that's gay. And I was like,
Fuck
dude.
you.
Are we still 13,
yeah,
man?
dog, right.
Like, I can't believe, like, I have to have that conversation with another grown-ass man where I'm like, dude, being better doesn't make you fucking gay.
It doesn't make you soft or nothing like that.
Dude, being a good son, brother, boyfriend, father, that's not bitch shit. Yeah. That's man shit.
Exactly, dog.
That was like the transition from boyhood to manhood when I was like, oh, I gotta be better. And it ain't just for me. It's primarily for me. But I got other people who depend on me.
Right. And that's what it is too. It's just like what you said, like being son, brother, fam. Like, you know, my son and like fucking I have to, and it's crazy for me for having a son because, like, you know, I'm a single dad and I've had custody of my son for like 7 years, bro.
Damn,
you know
that's tough to do, man. Not a lot of dudes can pull that off.
It's the hardest thing I ever did in my life. And the thing about it with me, why it's so hard, is I don't have a blueprint. Like, my dad wasn't in my life, so I'm like, oh, this is what a man does, and this is like everything is like learning on like as I go type of shit. So of course I fuck up some places, you know what I mean? But it's like I really do the job. Like, my son be having football practices. I'm there every fucking day. Like, he started fucking up in school. I had to go find him a tutor. And the fucking tutor cost more than my car insurance, bro. It costs more than my car payment and car insurance, bro. Dog, more than that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, and it's like, you know, like I have to talk to him about real shit sometimes. Like, and it's like, you know, like, it's just, it's a fucking person, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's when you realize that kids are not they're people. Yeah. And the shit that you do with them creates a core foundation for what they become. Yeah. And it's so much of it's just about being there.
It's funny because like I had a kid at a young age. So right now, like I'm only 32 with my son. He's 11. He's about to be 12. So he's like, and he's like, and it's like I'm going through like that parent shit. Like my son, like he's jerking off now. Like that's where we're at. And again, like he's jerking. I know he's jerking. He hasn't told me, but I know what jerking off looks like. Dog. You know,
he's taking those 40-minute showers.
Yo, you know what's funny with him? I talked about this shit on my podcast, bro. Like it's like, you know how I found out he was jerking? Like I had a suspicion, like. Because the lotion was always gone, but my son is always ashy though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's never moisturized, but the lotion is always on E, dog. Right? So fucking what happened was and it's like me. It's like it's my house. Like I do that dad shit. I bust in the room. I'm not knocking on your door, dog. Yeah. Like I'm busting in the room.
You don't pay rent.
Yeah. And one day, like he was late. Like you could tell he was like kind of disheveled. He probably was about to start jacking off or was in the middle of it, and like. He was laid sideways and like the cover was like stopped at his shin, but I saw his drawers was at his ankles, dog. And I'm like, oh, you was just like in my head, like that was the moment I was like, oh, this kid's jerking off, dog. And then it's like I'm not gonna embarrass him about it because that's like a confusing time in a boy's life when you first start beating off and shit. It's like you it's right. You kind of feel like you're doing something wrong a little bit, but you can't stop because it's jerking off, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he's at that stage where he's like. I could tell it's so new to him. He don't know anything. He's just jerking off with everything, dog. Like there be this like anything that looks like cream is like in his room empty. Like I'm like, you gotta picture yourself. Yeah, you got
fucking
hair grease, dog. Like everything. I'm like, dog, you gotta slow down, dog. You got plenty of years to get this shit under control, dog. Yeah, it's just like, dog. Like, and it's like, yo, I know you didn't use hair. I know you like it's hair grease. You have hair grease for years at a time. Why is the hair grease empty, dog? Like, why is the fucking like the lotion like my son he's a light-skinned kid but he still needs lotion, dog. He's always ashy. Why you now every night you need the lotion? Every night you ask where the fuck the lotion is before we go to bed, dog. Like it's just like it's just hilarious, but it's just
that's
like
such a brutal point as a kid too, because you put it in everything.
Yeah,
man. Like,
dog.
I remember rolling over in my couch and like it just found like the crevice, and I was like, all right,
this is kind of good.
And then like I hear something, I look up, and my dad is in the kitchen, just fucked up, hungover from drinking all night, and he's drinking OJ from the cod, and he just looks at me with this like look like, and I can just see him. He drinks the OJ, and he's like, "I'm not fucking dealing with it." Like he had already caught me like twice, and it would have been so embarrassing. He caught. Dude. I would do it to like MTV,
anything.
And I'm sitting on the couch in my Paula, and I just hear I hear Michael, stop it, and I look up, and I'm like, ah! And he goes, quick, your mother's coming, and I get a fucking. And he comes in, and he goes, look. I do it too. And I'm like, I know you do. You leave your porn everywhere, dude.
Exactly.
I know where your Playboys are. I've seen all those DVDs. We watch the same stuff.
Right.
You're into big butt girls just like me.
And then, you know, it's so funny, right? I was thinking that shit too, where it's just like, when you're fucking young, right? And you like, you watch whatever porn you could get your hands on. So you're into shit that you think, and then later you find you're really not into that shit. It's just what was available at the time and shit. And I'd be thinking, like, did that fucking, like, put you on different trajectories? Just like, you know what I'm saying?
It does, dude. It did for me.
It was like mad fucking porn. I remember my mom used to get the fucking, oh my God. My mom used to get the fucking, the Vibe magazines. Like, we used to get this, and I remember there was this one issue when I was younger, and it had J-Lo on it, and her ass was just so perfect, man. And I always jerk off to the cover of a fucking Vibe magazine, bro.
Dude, I've done it to Game Informer, man. So like Laura Croft, all right? Like, I bet it's tough, man, for a kid. What do you say when you like catch him? Like, how do you?
I haven't, like, I caught him. I knew what he was doing, but I didn't was like, I got you. Like it wasn't like that. So it's like, and it's like, I don't want to embarrass him. I'm gonna give him like another 6 months of this shit before. Yeah. And this is like, oh man, it's like, I don't care. You jerk off. I do it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get some regulations around your shit,
man. Yeah. It starts off as anarchy because you don't even know that, like, that first time you realize you can do that. Yeah. Dude, it's like you found a new toy, man. You know how I found out it was weird. It was very weird, right? So what happened was I was about in 6th grade. I went through my grandfather's room for no reason, right? And my grandfather was a player. I mean, he had condoms in his room, man. He still fucks to this day. He just turned 80 the other day. Got bitches, plural bitches. Where does he pull them from, man?
He's just a smooth talking guy.
Like an over 80 dating app?
No, he be fucking bitches way younger than him.
Really?
Dog. Yeah, like he just a player. Dog. That's why I got that shit from. Why I can just get pussy and shit. But anywho, I got these condoms from him, right? And this is like, you know, when I started like getting boners and shit. So like it was this one, I think it was like a fucking Saturday night, dog. And I was playing my dick. This is when your dick was just getting hard all the time for no. So I put the condom on just to see if I could fit a condom. So when I fuck, I figure I don't want to embarrass myself. So just
act like a pro. Yeah, I'm 13, but I'm a professional.
So I put the condom on and I was just playing around like, and I fucking like accidentally like jerked a little bit. Yeah. And I was like, hey, that shit kind of, and it was over after that, bro. I was beating off all the time, bro. I say I'm talking 4 times a day easily, dog. 3, 4 easily.
Yeah, I was getting like double digits, man. I was awful, man. It was just embarrassing. Like, dude, I was so young, I didn't know what an erection was. Yeah. And I used like a back massager that I found in the shower. Yeah. And like, I grew up in a house where it was like, you know, people would just walk in the bathroom, like if you were in the shower, they don't fucking care. Like, and both my parents walked in and saw me, and finally my dad's like, why's your dinky like that? And I go, I don't know, Dad. Sometimes it just gets bigger. And he's like, he chuckled and just let it go. And I was like, dude, that was my first time getting caught, man. Right. That's that fucking, and I was like, I got to deal with that one day. I'm going to be on the other end of this. That's the revenge, is that I have to be on the other end of this as an adult and have to deal with like, how do I deal with this with my fucking kid? Yeah,
man? that's what it is. It's like, and it's so funny. Like, I'm one of the few comics I know that actually is like a full-fledged adult with a kid. You know what I mean?
There's a couple single dad comics like you and Chris
Penny.
Yeah. And but it's rare, man, because so much of, like, we kind of glossed over comedy, but it's fine. This is great stuff. But comedy is just like a Peter Pan clump, right? Yeah. It's the Lost Boys. Yeah. It's so many dudes who don't ever want to grow up. And it's my biggest pet peeve with it. Because, like, look, man, have fun, do your thing. But at a certain point, you got to
grow up.
At a certain point, it's like, buddy, you're 48, man. Yeah, dog, like, it ain't glorious that you're copping a bag of blow. Yeah. And that you're doing a weekend in Schenectady. Yeah. And you're just alone, man. And you're trying to bang that nasty girl.
And it's like, you know what it is? It's like, it's weird when I find, and especially with men in particular, like, in comedy is what I'm being specific with. Is like, yo, you gotta embrace you getting older, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, you can't be
stop fighting.
Like,
man.
I know when you first start comedy, it feels fun, young, and hip, dog. But as you get older, it's like, yo, dog, you gotta be older, dog. You're not gonna be the cool young fucking dude forever, dog. You know what I mean?
I honestly have more fun now than I've ever had. I'm just more relaxed. I don't care about getting laid after the show.
Yeah, right. I'm not fucking pushing up on all the bitches and shit like I used to.
And also, you know your shit.
Yeah.
You know who you are. Once you know who you are,
life's way easier.
All that fucking anxiety, man. All that shit. When you know who you are, you know who you are on stage and what your fucking art or whatever it is you're doing. You know all that shit.
Yeah.
And nothing can fucking phase you. Because also you go, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have a shitty show. It's like,
and
motherfucker, like
I
went through my broken period. Like I remember being in Brooklyn in my shitty apartment and like the train goes 2 feet from my fucking window, man.
There's so many people who live like that.
And dude, the girl, I was living with like 2 psychos. One girl is in the nut house. Like, I mean, in the nut house, and she's gonna come home in a couple of days. I don't know when she's coming home. And I'm scared she's gonna stab me in my sleep. Right? Like, I'm hustling, just selling like small bags of shit. Like, and I'm like, I don't wanna be doing this forever. Like, I never bragged about selling nefarious things because I didn't look on it with pride or whatever.
All my drug selling days, I never looked at it like I never wanted to be doing this.
I don't want to be doing this. This is to get to where I need to be. I'm not I was like, one thing I sucked at was like I wouldn't even tell other comics sometimes because I was like, I don't need you knowing how I make my fucking money or what this is. And that getting around, because everyone talks, everyone runs their mouths.
Oh my God, like fucking like little bitches, girls. Dog. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm cooking Spam, dude. Just Spam in a pan with sliced like singles, not even craft singles, like the dollar store singles.
Oh man.
And I'm just flipping it with like a spatula and I go, dude, this is it, man. I had that moment as the train was running outside and I was just like, I could feel like the dirtiness of my floor underneath my feet. And I was like, dude, I don't want this to be my life.
Dog. And it's like, and there's comics, like we said, who still live like that, bro.
We're pushing 50, man.
Dog, you be like, dog, like, yo, at this point, nigga, you might as well get married and find a woman. And it's like, dog, and it's like, I had to make that decision too, where it's just like, I don't want, like, I'm 30. I guess that's young, but it's not youthful young. It's just young enough to still get shit going. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and you be seeing motherfuckers, it'd be like, dog, like, you still gonna, like, yeah, I'm gonna get fucking married one day and do all that shit and have a kid. Like, I'm buying a dog tomorrow. Like, this is life shit. I'm buying my son a dog tomorrow. Like, I'm driving to Maryland to go pick him up a dog. And fucking, this is like, yeah, you gotta, like, I enjoy growing up, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do too,
there was a point where it was scary to me because it's like, you know, you watch TV and everybody you look up to is young and vibrant, dog. You know what I mean? Especially like as a young dude watching rappers, they're all, in my 20s, I'm getting it, dog. And it's like most people don't live like that, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
dude, they never show that. That's just the problem with entertainment and our American culture as a whole is we really worship youth. But we don't ever show what happens to those dudes who, like, they're banging, they're in the strip clubs, they're having all these times. And I worship that. As a teenager who was fat and a loser, I worship that idea of my big motivation was I want to make it so I can take my friends and travel the world. And like, we're not inner city kids. Like, I was like, dude, I had these fantasies of us going to, like, Prague and all these old European cities and just us goofing off. And I put all this pressure on me that no one asked me to. No one in my family or friends said it's all on you. To the point
where it's affecting your emotions and shit, dog.
When I failed at shit, it ruined me because I was like, I'm not feeling me. I'm feeling everyone. I'm feeling my family, my friends, my hood, everyone. I'm failing, and it's not how it is. And so I feared that shit. And then what they don't show you is that so much after that, like I look at a lot of guys I used to look up to and I go, oh, you don't have it together, man. Yeah. You still think you're 22.
Right.
And they don't ever show you that dude who was great in the game, whether it's rap or comedy, till he was 28. What's going on with him now, dude?
Right, nothing.
And sometimes you see it and you realize
it's fucking ugly to watch, bro.
It's tough,
man. It's ugly to watch, bro.
It's tough to watch when I look at dudes that are alone. And like, I'm like, I don't want that. Like, it doesn't make you a pussy. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, I really grew up with this mindset of having a family and being loved makes you weak and gay. Yeah. And it's just like, how did I even think that? Right. But I did, dude. I thought that was bitch shit.
Yeah.
To have that shit.
To be fucking with one chick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To be fucking. And it's like, it's like, granted, this is like, you could have a girl and it's like, I walk down the street all the time and see girls who, and hypothetically, I would like to do vile things to, but that's just like, you let your mind entertain it for like a split second. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, am I actually going to sit there really and be running around fucking mad hoes still? Am I going to do that? Am I really going to dedicate my time to that?
You ever look at like the time you used to spend when you were younger? Dude, I remember taking 3 fucking buses for an hour and 30 minutes to go fuck some girl. And I'm like, I can't, nowadays, if I get a message and she's like one town over, I'm like, get the fuck out. Get out of here.
I spent so much of my time, bro. It's actually how I learned how to get around Massachusetts, like those outskirts. Me too. I
never been to the suburbs before comedy and pussy,
bro. Those are the two things too. Like, yo, bro, I used to drive to, and it's like looking in retrospect, you'd be like, bro, I was like in danger, dog. Dude, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I remember driving to like hood ass places. I'm just in Lowell. I'm in Bridgewater. Dude, I remember going to see this chick in Roxbury off of Backpage. It was a working girl, man. And like, I get to the location and it's just, dude, it was like in Dot. It was like on the border between Dot and Roxbury, right?
Oh, yeah, I know
and
that area.
It was like her pimp drove her up, right?
Oh, man.
Like this, I didn't even...
Jesus Christ.
There was like, and you go in and you like rent a room, man. Like it was like a sex house. Yeah. I was like, I didn't know they had these. Right. Like I've been in one of these in Prague. I didn't know they had these like here. And I'm like, dude, what am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I used to, when I was dealing and chasing, like that, when I would walk down a hallway of a hotel or an apartment building, especially like in a rough area, like in East New York, Brooklyn, like 3 a.m., like I'm the only white dude for miles, and the rats are bigger than dogs. I remember opening the door, and there's a dude selling shit in the hallway, and they think I'm a cop, but I'm like, I'm here to sell my own shit upstairs. Right. And I used to get a rush from when I would knock on the door, and it would only take maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It felt like an eternity. Yeah. And in that moment, I was getting like what like suburban white dudes do with like hang gliding and shit. That's what I got.
Right, yeah.
From hustling and chasing, like working with like that shit. And I remember realizing like, dude, this ain't happiness. This ain't healthy. I know this is excitement. Yeah. It's not happiness.
Exactly. And then I know that fucking feeling too. Just fucking like selling drugs and just like I was one of the drug dealers. I knew how to save my money.
I was too, and I didn't use my own product.
Hell no, fuck no, no way. And you just see like money like piling up, couple grand, and it's like, yo, this is. If people knew this was in my house, you know what I'm saying? Like they would try me, and it was just like, it was just. I just had this excitement, but it's just like, this is not happening. And as you get older, you realize what actually truly makes you happy. And that's why like I was actually having this conversation with somebody the other day. Like when I fucking like in the last 3 years, I got really heavy. I know you see me heavy back into fishing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like, I love fishing, bro. My grandfather introduced me to that shit when I was 4 years old, and I couldn't do it for a while because like I had my son. I didn't really have the time, and now he's old enough so he can come with me sometimes and shit. And this is like, this makes me happy. Like when I'm fishing, that shit makes me fucking happy, bro.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I like hiking. Like I had viral videos. Like I've talked about it before, but it boggles my mind. I never would have thought me in the woods feeding a fucking chipmunk.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Is what would have like set me off.
You're right.
But I like that, and like I'm like I enjoy this. I like banging a woman and fucking cuddling her and then we make blueberry pancakes. I like fucking blueberry pancakes.
Everybody likes blueberry pancakes.
Call me a bitch. I don't care. Like just smoking a blunt, we watch a movie and I make her laugh and you share something and then you eat pizza and you bang again and you don't care. You just got pizza grease on you and you just don't fucking care.
Just chilling, dog. And it's like me and Kofi always say this shit like we made up this term. It's called you got to protect your chill when you get older. Like whatever fucking energy keeps you in that zen, you got to protect that shit, bro. Because this is like you stop caring what people think about you, bro. You know what I mean? Don't. And when you do that, that's the most liberating feeling you can ever have, bro. It's like, I don't care, dog. Like,
I don't. It's so. I used to do this open mic in the Lower East Side, and it was like in art space. I was one of the few comics, which I loved those because you get a good read on the audience. Yeah. And it was just like dude in his 70s who would show up naked, little fucking tiny dick that would like go up inside of him like he was a dog, big balls, huge balls. Like, and it's a small room like this big, and everyone's uncomfortable because what is going on? And I have to give credit to the girl who ran the space. She said, I let people do whatever they want. So if you're a comic, you want to get up there and tell goofy rape jokes, whatever. Like some people.
That's what art is.
That's what it is, man. Some people do psycho poetry about their trauma. And I watch this dude and he's in there and like it's hot. Like it's everyone's on top of each other. And I sit across from him and he goes, oh, and he fist pumps me like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what do I think he's going to try something on me? Right. Like I'm the thing that's like.
That's going to make him turn to a rapist in front of everybody.
He gets up there and he tells a poem where he talks about, he's like in his late 70s. He went to the bodega, he went to the corner store, and when he got back, his wife died. And he's like, I don't fucking care.
Right.
I'm just here, I'm just free and naked. And I go, this dude is punk rock. This guy doesn't fucking care. Yeah, he really... Everyone in here who's an artist is like, oh, I don't care what anyone thinks. I go, fuck you.
This guy.
This guy does not give a fuck, man. You are the most bad. I go, it's you, man. You're hardcore, dude. You don't give a fuck. And that's powerful, dude. Right. Not giving a fuck is some next level shit, dude.
Yeah, bro. It's
like a superpower.
Yeah, it's the fucking what is it in Matrix? The blue pill? Is it the blue pill that frees you?
The red pill.
The red pill. Yeah, the red pill, bro. And it's just like that's what it is, bro. It's just like you gotta at whatever age you find that red pill, bro. You gotta take that shit, bro.
You do, man. And it's I also had it like I remember I was hanging out with like all my cousins, and we're talking and we're all trading stories about dealing, and like they're talking about. You know, some of them are talking about time they went to prison, and it hits me that it's like, oh, this is a recurring fucking theme here, Mike. And it's like I get that we all had to do what we had to do to survive, and I'm like, but I don't want this. It's like I had this moment where I realized there is a fucking generational trauma in my family that is following down the line. And like, your dad wasn't there, mine was, but he wasn't always fucking good.
Yeah.
And I had to learn a lot of things about like, I had to get shit out of me. Like my dad, like emotionally broke my mother and verbally abused her like on a daily basis. And I caught myself doing I remember coming out of a blackout, and a girl who loves me, my girlfriend, is coming to pick me up. And I'm like, you stupid fucking cunt. And I woke up the next day and I go, you're becoming him.
You're right.
And I was like, you can't fucking do this.
Right.
Like I had those moments. I had one this summer where like my dad almost died, and I realized like the trauma of that was infecting me and my brother and my mother. And I was like, I have to, if I don't break this fucking cycle, I'm fucking done.
Bro, you know fucking what I realized with myself, not even nobody helped me find it, but as I got older, was that when I was young, how my parents broke up, right? Is I was 5 years old. I came in the house one day and all my dad's shit was at the door. I didn't know what the fuck. I was like, he must be getting new furniture or something. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, fuck, right? And then the dude was just gone, dog. Like he was there every day and he just wasn't there. And it's like my mom, you know, she was going through her shit about it, and they never explained what the fuck was going. He just was gone, dog. He would come every once in a while, then those visits started just dwindling until it was nothing. And then I realized as I got older, that's how I broke up with women. I would be like, yo, I'm done with this. No explanation. Yo, bro. And I was doing that in high school, bro. And I thought I was an ill nigga because I didn't have no feelings. And I realized as I got older, like, yo, you're doing that because that's how your parents broke up. And every fucking relationship I broke up was the same. Like, yo, I'm done. Like, it'd be random. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not explaining. You don't deserve it. I'm not explaining nothing. Just know that this shit's over. And that's like how I lived my life for mad long, bro. Dog. That's why and that's why I kind of like be feeling like every girlfriend I have still wants to fuck with me just because they just want to know why. Like they just want that they want the explanation, dog. Like because I fucking broken up with bitches and like years later talk to him again, and we have that like breakup argument where they just want to know what the fuck, like it was just like, you know what I'm saying?
Everyone wants to know, man. Everyone, even when like I've been on just a one-off date, there have been times where they don't, and I go, what was it?
Yeah,
I'm like, just at
least give me some.
Dude, I went on a date with this girl, and she was just looking at my clothes and laughing. I go, look, I don't care if you chuckle at me, but I want in on what's going on. Yeah. And I found out that it was how she was showing she liked me. She just didn't know how to. But at first, I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. What are you? It's weird how it gets in your head. But that cycle, that having to consciously be like, oh, I gotta not give this to my kids.
Yeah.
That's in my head all the fucking time.
Yeah, and that's with my son. Like, you know, I drop the ball sometime on certain shit, but one thing I make sure I fucking just stay in this kid's life. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, and that's why, like, as far as like comedy, bro, like I fucking, like my son has affected my comedy in the sense that, bro, I had, like, it used to be everything is around comedy. You know, like my life was built around. Now, when he really, like, instead of just seeing on the weekends I got custody of him, bro, like in my life, I went through fucking, like, bro, when I say I went through it, bro, emotionally, just like, how am I going to do this? Like, I was living in an apartment, bro, like I was living in a room. Like, in a room, you got a kid, you live with your boys, he's fucking bitches, like, I still had hoes and shit like that. Like this is not ideal for a nigga living like this, dog, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, now everything is around him. So even when I started doing comedy, like there was a point where I was always doing shows, but I wasn't doing as much. And people thought I had quit comedy for a while. Cause I was like, I was doing shows, but it was like, only if I'm booked. Like I wasn't just hanging out.
Yeah, you don't have time for that shit, man. I remember talking to you about it.
I was fucking like, bro, I've had to turn down threesomes because of my son, bro. Yo, there was this one time, bro. This is 100% true story. So I was at Laugh Boston, bro. And remember Just Hilarious, you know that girl on Instagram? Her name's Just, she got a big following. Her name's Just Hilarious. And she was supposed to do a show at Laugh Boston, and I guess her flight got canceled. So Ryan Cock calls me and like probably 6 other comics like, yo, can y'all just do a show tonight? Like we got a boom, 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 whatever. So it's like, you know, Laugh Boston, if there's not 200 people in there, even if 50 people doesn't feel like that much because the space is so fucking big,
man. It's cavernous.
So I'm on stage, I'm doing all right. But I noticed there's these 2 bitches laughing at everything I'm saying like crazy, dog. So I'm like, all right, whatever. After the show, I walk outside, and you know how cold it is at Laugh Boston at nighttime, bro. It's right by the ocean, bro. It's freezing, right? These 2 bitches are waiting for me in the cold. I walk by, and mind you, I didn't leave right away. After the show, I chilled for at least 45 minutes. So they were just outside waiting for me, bro, right? So I'm walking and I hear somebody go, hey. I'm like, you know, like everybody talking to me. He's like, yeah, you the comedian, right? I was like, they start walking up to me. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? They was like, yeah, I like your little comedy thing. Like that whole black girl shit. That whole black girl shit, right?
Dude, Dominican girls do that too, man.
So they fucking talking to me and shit. And then they're like, yo, like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, it's Wednesday, dog. Like, hey, what do you mean what I'm doing tonight?
Putting on my slippers.
Yeah, I've already did what I'm doing for the night, dog. And they was like, we should chill like tonight. I was like tonight, nigga. And I was like, man, mind you, bro, when like before my son was like old enough to like kind of watch himself, like I used to be like, yo, mom, I used to have to call my mom and be like, yo, can you watch Julian for an hour and a half? Like, and I gotta be back in an hour and a half. That's why, like, if you ever noticed, like the last like 4 years, I would always say, let me go first, second. Like I would boom, go first and leave. So it's like, I already had wasted my hour and a half at the show. Yeah. These bitches, threesome, you can't rush a threesome.
No, like, that takes time, dude.
Yo, these bitches, and they was all for. When I say all for it, dog, they was like
all the signs, man.
Yo, every sign. Yeah, they was trying to get me to come through, and they was like, "Yeah, we live in Brighton." And then I'm like in my head, like, I gotta
drive to Brighton. How's the parking gonna be on a Wednesday,
right,
dude?
It's like
parking in Brighton's terrible.
But it was one of them. Like I got their numbers and shit. Like I got when I was like, I can't do it, and I got both their numbers. And then fucking like they hugged me, and then one of them kissed me on my neck and shit. And when we was leaving, I got their numbers, but it was like I called them the next day, and the vibe was it's like what I had to execute that night, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it was just like, That's what being a dad is, bro. You have to turn down threesomes.
I bet you, like the next time he pissed you off, or like didn't eat his chicken nuggets, you were just like, fucking, I want to be you. I turned down.
And these bitches like were gorgeous.
That's such a
like this black chick. One was light skinned and one was dark skinned, bro. And it was just like the light skinned one. She just had like a real pretty face. Like she was just pretty. And the dark skinned one, you could tell she was like the more aggressive, like the more dominant one. And she wasn't like drop dead gorgeous, but you know, sometimes something just sexy about a girl, dog. And I was like, I'm pretty sure she's the best dick sucker out of the crew, dog.
You feel the kink aura. There's a slutty energy going on.
And I was like, oh my nigga, dog. I called them for like 2 weeks trying to get that shit back going. And
I've done that before, man, where like I had an opportunity to like be a piece of shit, like after a show, and I was like, I got a girl, and this girl is laying on thick. She is like, I'm staying in Airbnb right next door. I'm flying out tomorrow. I'm just looking for like and I was like, you're not the piece of garbage you used to be, Mike. Like, just let it. Don't do it.
It's like hard to not be a
my
piece
conscience
of shit,
got to me, and I was like, oh, you know, I gotta do the right.
Bro, I remember those dirtbag days, bro. Like, even to this day, sometimes I reflect on like just how poorly I used to treat women and my penis. It's just like dog. I used to like fuck bitches. Like shower and then have her drop me off at another girl's crib and be like, oh, this is my cousin's house, but I was gonna go and fuck another girl, and it's like,
you know what's funny?
Oh my god, bro!
Girls do that too.
Yeah, I know that.
Dude, girls do it worse. I've like, you ever get a girl to tell you like the shit, like the amount of times that they've hooked up with a dude and immediately gone to another dude's house. Well, like what really I feel bad for these dudes is when like a girl, I've been the dude who bangs a girl and then she goes to chill with the other dude. Yeah. Like I'm the dick. And he's the company guy. Yeah. Because he's the conversation guy. He says the right stuff and combs your hair, but he doesn't make the moves. He doesn't do it. He's not manly enough.
And there be fucking girls who are wild. Like there was bitches who like me and my niggas used to jump off. And then they would go chill with their boyfriends after, bro.
Explain to any white listeners what jump off is.
Anybody who doesn't know what jump off is, this is when you find an exceptionally slutty woman. When you ever hear guys say jump off or she's for the team, this is a girl who will fuck multiple guys.
She'll pipe the team.
Yeah, she'll fuck multiple guys in one night in a short amount of time period, too. And this is called a jump off. What other words they got?
We always call them slam pigs.
That's what they really should be going. Like slaggers. Jump offs and something. Yeah, it was just like that. And me and my boy, we jumped off mad bitches. Actually, fucking, it's crazy. Like the first time me and my niggas jumped off was like it became like a thing. Like me and my boy had met this girl off Black Planet, right?
It's a black dating site.
Yeah, no, it was Facebook before Facebook. It was like when they had Black Planet, Mahente. They was all like, they was broken down by fucking race.
Like before we integrated social media.
Yeah, exactly. So fucking like, I had met this girl. I used to talk to her on AIM. Remember AIM?
Dude, I remember AIM.
Yeah, and then like I talked to my boy's grandmother had moved to Louisiana, and then his uncle took over the house. Then his uncle was gone for like a week. So we talked this girl to come up, and this is when I was chilling in the hood. This is when at all times I was hanging around 10 people at one fucking time, right? We talked this girl to come over the hood, right? She starts jumping off. We little, we got like, you know, a bunch of old niggas. They gave us the bottles. We had weed. That's when me and my boys all selling weed. So we had plenty of weed and shit. And fucking, she was there for like 3 days, dog. And she was jumping off on her birthday, bro. We was fucking this girl for like 3 days, but she was with it, dog. Like, yo, and that's what like a girl will hear what I'm saying right now, like, oh, you're a pig, but they don't understand. Some girls like that shit. They be jump offs we used to have back in the day that would call us and be like, yo, get y'all boys together. I'm trying to go get fucked tonight. And like, there's girls who are into that, and it's like, yo, some girls just like fucking mad niggas, dog.
Dude, the amount of women who have fantasies about getting double teamed and gangbanged is enormous. Like I've talked to so many chicks who watch gangbang porn.
Yeah.
So many that fantasize about getting double teamed. It's way more common than you think. They just don't tell their boyfriends. Of course not.
Why would they tell them that?
Dude, my friends were hanging out. It's like noon time, 2 PM in South Boston, and they're walking home, and there's like 5 of them, and this drunk like yuppie girl walks up, and she goes, "Oh, my husband's out of town. Come back and bang me out right now." And they were like they didn't do it because they were dead sober. We're not gonna.
You gotta be.
I don't know.
Pull shit off.
Yeah, to pull something off. But they were also like, dude, that's someone's wife.
Dog.
Like,
and that's just funny when you start fucking married bitches.
Oh, dude,
you be like, dog. You be like,
gross, man.
You be like, dog. This is some dude.
Someone's
married this
someone
girl.
Loves this woman
and fucking like thinks that this is the best woman he could possibly get.
Some dude's working overtime for this woman now.
Some dude is in a hole right now, digging, putting rebar down in the middle of the fucking road.
Oh, dude, like my friend hooked up with this chick. Like we knew this dude who was a gypsy cab driver. And he met us in Faneuil Hall. He called us up. He goes, "Hey, I got a girl who wants it. She's telling me where's the dick at. She's in town."
What?
Dropped her off with us. She brought my friend back to the hotel, and then she's telling him about she got 2 kids and a husband. She's on a work trip, right? And showing him pictures, and he's like, "I gotta." After he nutted, he's like, "I gotta bounce."
Yeah.
He's like, "I can't." She's like, "You don't want to stay?" And he goes, "No." Like I used to do I used to build corporate trade shows. And all these older corporate like baby boomers and shit, after like a week of work, they would celebrate with a concert by like, dude, Lionel Richie would come through or like play for like $500K in one night, and then they get drunk and bang on each other while their husbands. And I go, dude, this is fucking wild,
this
man.
Is some orgy, fucking like some fucking skull shit. Dude,
everyone, you meet so many people that like judge other people and are pretending like they get it together, and I'm like, you don't have.
No, but everybody got their own bullshit going on, bro.
What I have realized with jump off girls is that it is one thing I've learned observing women that I've interacted with, women I grew up around. A woman's relationship with a man is defined by her relationship with her father, and. Like, that's why if I have any girls, I know I'm in your life.
You're all over it.
I'm in your life. You know, I'm not going to bully you. I'm not going to not be there. But I've seen what happens when a dad just isn't around.
Oh, man.
And
a woman should not be left in this world and have to figure out men by herself.
No.
Absolutely not.
Dude, it's like...
Because it's like, you're going to run into the wrong guy. That's probably going to be most of the guys you're going to run into the wrong guy. And it's like, some guys are predators, dog. They know how to like...
There's a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I perform with some of them. Like, it's like, right. It's like, dude, you meet dudes that are like active fucking scumbags, and you're like
they want to be a piece of shit, dog.
And I'm like, I can't believe and I'm like, oh, dude, I thought I was a scumbag. I was just grimy, you know. But I was like, you actively hurt people. I always wanted to help.
I'm just looking for a good time. You are a fucking actual piece of shit.
You're a fucking predator, man. You meet these dudes who like, dude, I got on Tinder in the city, and like. They're all these chicks are like 18 through 22, and I go, let me check my age thing, right? Because they're way too young. I'm not doing that. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't think they want anything to do with me for the most part. And if they do, it's because there's a daddy issue.
Yeah, right.
And I'm looking, and I'm like, damn, there's just a bunch of young girls here, but I know dudes who are
all
older,
over that.
They just go for that, and then it's like, dude. It's the same. It's the same thing when I meet people who love pets but don't like people.
Yeah.
You like young girls for the same reason people like cats and dogs, because they don't call you out on your shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't go, why the fuck are you still eating toaster strudels for lunch and you're 42?
Right. It's like I buy those shits for my son, bro.
Yeah, like dude.
I got Eggos in the fucking freezer and I never touch them. But it's just like, I know exactly what you mean when it's like, and you know, it's funny. I had that realization one time, right? I think we talked about this before. When I was like 22, 23, real young, I was fucking this bitch that was like in her 30s, right? And at first I thought I was cool. Like, I'm fucking this older bitch.
Yeah, I've been there.
And then like, I had a realization one day, because like she kind of like was weird. And I was like, oh, why? This is why guys your age don't fuck you. Because you're fucking nuts. So you have to fuck little young fucking innocent men, the guys like me.
Dude, there's lady predators, man.
Yo, dog, there's so many of them bitches, dog.
I've been got. I used to be ashamed to say it because, like, as a dude, you feel like you can't be taken advantage of.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely can.
But you can. You can very much. You can get got. You can be taken advantage of as a dude, and your pride prevents you from handling the issues that causes you.
When I fucking there's some girls who are mad aggressive. Yo, there was a girl, right, who I considered a friend, right? This is actually pretty recent, and since the quarantine, right? Like, she fucking like started calling me like every day, like randomly, and then kept trying to push up on me like to fuck her, mind you. But I knew this bitch for married. I never had any like sexual thing with her. You know what I'm saying? Never had no inkling even in my head. And she did every day calling me, trying to get me to fuck, trying to get me to come over, trying to come over my house, trying to offer, just like how a fucking like pervert offers kid candy. Like, you just keep trying to like push it on me. It's like, yo, I don't want to fuck you, dog. Like, it gets to the point where I had to block her. And this is somebody I considered a friend for a very long time. I was like, yo, like, I'm blocking you. Like, you're making me uncomfortable, dog. Like, cause you're just so... You're a creep, dog. Like, really, like you're a fucking creep, dog.
And have you ever had a girl prey on you when you're in a vulnerable state?
Oh, yeah, dog.
It's so you're so bewildering because you're all fucked up. You got dumped. Someone in your family died, and then they roll through, like,
and take advantage of you, dog.
Like, we used to call them fart bags. It's just
they have the great name.
So. In like Irish pubs around Boston, right around closing time, there are certain barflies, chicks who would hang out and then scoop up the dudes who were like too drunk to say no. Cause like they got to a point where they were so drunk, they were giving in to their like, and some of these girls would know these dudes' girlfriends. So they knew what they were doing. They knew that they were going in for the easy kill.
Easy kill, dog.
And I'm like, dude, in the man world, this is rape.
Yeah, right.
In girl world, it's just being advantageous.
Yeah,
but like,
exactly, dog. And it's like, you know, it's fucking... There's a lot of female creeps out there. I always say that shit, and it's very underreported.
We're not that different. Like,
dog,
there's this ideology that our desires for sex are like, that women are all fucking Madonnas.
That's why I like that fucking joke Bill Burr did when he says, that sexual harassment joke.
Is it the women abuse men joke?
Yeah, when he says they act like that only happens to women, dog. Yeah, he's acting like that's like that. Like, that happens to everybody, bro. I've had bitches push up on me, like, where I'm like, yo, like, get the fuck off me. Like, you're making me feel weird right now,
dude.
Dog.
I was in a bar in Rhode Island, and this girl walked up behind me and like took her hand like this, like the credit card, and jammed it in my ass crack. Just fucking, and I just went, and I went, oh, and I fucking turn around, and she turns to all her friends, and they go, and I'm like,
if you would have did that to a chick, dog, you'd be arrested, dog.
I was like, it was like, what do I do? I can't, I
can't go punching them.
I told my girl at the time, and she goes, why didn't you hit her? And I go, I can't fucking hit.
Some fucking Irish dude just starts wailing on girls in a bar. You think they want to hear your story after that?
Dude,
what the fuck are you talking about?
I would get stomped out.
Oh my God.
I would get destroyed. Like, that girl could have like spit in my face and like grabbed my dick and just had like, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Literally.
Even if I went to like a bouncer or whatever, they'd be like, what are you, fucking gay? What are you? Dude,
can't even report it.
Dude gets a little prostate massage. Ooh. He's just mad she wasn't a dude. It's always. I remember just like sitting there, and I was like, "Fuck."
That's so fucking bad. Like, we're laughing about male sexual abuse.
Dude, it's funny though. It is funny, dude. It is funny. I'm gonna be honest, because I was like, I can't do anything. There's nothing.
You literally can't do nothing.
You just humiliated me publicly. For your friends, just for your friends. You just you like she almost got in my ass. Like, you violated me as a human being for no reason, just to have fun,
just to have a chuckle.
And I'm like
what the fuck?
There's nothing I can do.
You can't do shit.
All right. It's like, and I tell my friends, I go, and they laugh. They laugh in my face too. All my guy friends.
Like, it's funny for some reason when it happens to a guy. I don't know why.
It is, man. I don't know why. I mean, it's because historically we're the ones doing the oppression. So maybe
that's the ones that's reported.
That's true. Dude, that was always the thing with was like, all right, so I'm going to explain this, but the Believe Women campaign was like, believe women no matter what. And I go, don't do that, all right? Because believing women no matter what is what got Emmett Till killed.
Right.
It's got a lot of fucking black dudes lynched.
Yeah.
It's like historically
a lot of people arrested.
A lot of like, if you were a noble woman, you could just go fuck a peasant and then be like, rape me. And then they chop his head off.
Just like that.
So if you were a woman in a position or a status above someone else, you could
dictate their life.
Yeah, you could. So it's not, I had such an issue with that because it's like, look, I understand you're going through some shit. But you can't. There's no one all. Like you've done.
But my thing is like, in sense like what it says like, what about the women that lie about it? Why is that a crime?
Sometimes it is. Unfortunately, the punishment just isn't enough, and it should be because it fucks over women who actually are serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there are women who aren't believed because there are women who lie bullshit,
who lied.
And a lot of times, dude, it's shame, man. Like, have you ever fucked a girl and then she was ashamed of fucking you afterwards? I've done that, especially with like Catholic girls or Hindu or Muslim girls. And then like, I had this Indian girl who was blowing up my phone. Do you have an STD? And I go, no. What, are you getting something? Because I just got tested before we fucked. And I could realize she came from a repressed culture and she was freaking out that she had sex with me. And then we didn't use condoms. And I go, look, I was being real. Like you, like blowing up hitting me up on Instagram, Facebook.
I hate that.
And I'm like, dude, fuck, what if she's pregnant? Like I'm losing my mind. And I'm like, and I go, oh, these are those situations. That was always anxiety and a fear I had when I was fooling around was that like there was a period where I was hooking up with these spoiled rich college girls who would come to Boston. And I know what I was. I'm slumming for you. I'm like something you tell your girlfriends and never tell your husband. Like you bang some white trash, whatever.
Yeah, remember that guy?
Yeah. It's just so you and your girls can have stories when you're sitting around as like
drinking wine and shit.
In your 40s. And my fear was always like, if they want, they can say some shit. And if I'm, look at me, if I'm in a courtroom, and
they got a high power attorney, dog, ready to
I'm not even
destroy
black
you.
And I'm scared. I can't imagine if I was a black dude and I was in the same situation.
Bro, like, dude, that'd be like on some real shit. That's what be like. It'd be scaring me to like fuck with white bitches, dog.
Dude, I used to write jokes about this. I never got the right audience to do them. Where I was like, if I wanted to watch a horror movie, I just watch a black dude in college with a scholarship with his life ahead of him fucking with a spoiled white girl. Yeah. Because that is scary,
bro,
man.
You know how many motherfuckers like lives were just ruined and then it's like years later they get out of jail, but it's like, the scholarship's gone. His fucking life's gone.
Life's gone,
He's
man.
He probably got raped in jail or some just crazy shit he's seen he can't unsee no more. It's just like, dog, like. Because
like when I fooled around with girls like from my own like class or whatever, like if something went down, they'd have their cousins or uncles come beat me up or they'd scratch a key in my car.
Yeah, simple shit.
But like when you fuck around with a girl like that, her DA father makes sure you go to fucking fuck me in the butt prison. Right? Like if something goes bad, and you gotta, that's something I realized is like, oh, like when you're young and you just want to have sex, you go, I don't matter to them. Yeah. I'm like a dildo. I'm not even a person. I'm a fetish or I'm a thing for you.
Exactly.
That was always something that fucking bewildered me, man. That's gonna be like an extra level. Like if you're banging like white girls, that's gonna scare I would be fucking scared. Like it scares me that I fucked suburban white girls.
You know, it's funny. Like the first fucking bitch I ever fucked was a white chick, and this is honestly was my introduction into evil white women.
They're fucking so cruel, man.
So this is what happened. This is my first time having sex, right? So I used to fuck with this chick. It's to this day my second biggest tits I've ever seen in my life, bro. And mind you, this is when we was in high school, bro. Shits were huge. So long story short, we set it up. She's like, I want to fuck you. And I'm like, I want to fuck because I'm a virgin, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. Right? So we end up fucking. While we fucking, I probably was fucking her for all of fucking 3 minutes. And I had one of those condoms I took from my grandfather's house. The shit broke, and I dumped my whole load. I didn't know. You know, like when you're fucking, and men are so stupid for this. You know when you're fucking with a condom. And then it breaks, but you don't know. You just think it just started feeling good for no reason.
Yup. You're just like,
oh shit.
Oh, this is that.
This is great.
And you know, way in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And you're just like, nah, it's still there. No. It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah. So anywho, so I'm like, oh fuck. So we had to go to. So I'm like, I'm panicking. This is my first time I just dump a load in this fucking white bitch. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So we had to go to. I had to pack up all my shit. We had to walk to the free clinic to get Plan B pills. And mind you, I never even heard of Plan. I didn't know what the fuck they were. My boy told me to go. My boy told me, but I didn't know that it was just one pill, right? So I'm nervous. Like, I didn't even want to talk to the girl. I'm like, just get out of my life. I don't want, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then she's like, starts threatening me, like, I'm not going to take the pill unless you talk to me. And all. So I'm like, fucking, she's using it as a way to threaten me for like 2-3 weeks, bro, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know it was just one pill and you're just done, nigga. I'm thinking she had to, like, take a couple and shit like that, dog. And I'm like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Like, why are you so mean to me? I'm just 14, dog. Like, why are you doing this to me, dog?
Dude, the stories of the mistress, the slave master's wife, were always the meanest. I remember dating a girl from the burbs, and I met her like affluent. Like I was so far removed from them, and I'm hanging out with these affluent white girl cousins, and they're just like, I'm like, oh, they break men, just dominate their weak ass boyfriends, and like, you ain't shit. And I used to buy stolen phones and drugs from this dude I work with, and I would look through like the phones, and I would see how they would texting dudes, and then behind their back talking to their girls about how they're punking them. I'm fucking this dude, and he's paying for my trip to Cancun. He doesn't. Shit. And I was like. And I remember meeting one of her cousins. Her cousin had this giant smile. You know, like that horse smile where it's like 90% gums and 10% teeth?
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And the family's like, oh, she just eats up men. I go, like, that smile? I was like, you're evil behind that smile.
Yeah,
There's something deep in there, man. Fuck, man. I gotta wrap this up soon because I could keep talking to you. I wanted to talk. I'll have you on again because I wanted to talk about.
This is great, bro.
About like doing comedy in Boston as a black dude. We'll get into this because, like, people don't realize the only Boston comic that people know with Patrice O'Neal and like Sam J. You could say Sam J now. Right. Everyone else isn't from Boston. Bobby Kelly, Bill Burr, Louis C.K., which is why Patrice was my favorite, because I was like, oh, you came from the same fucking school system and environment as me. Those other guys had an extra thing above me.
Right.
They're like, but we'll get into that next time because I want to like examine that.
Yeah, let's do that next time.
Before we end, what was like the step you did? When did you know you're like, all right, I'm going to get custody of my son. This is fucking it. We're like...
Oh, actually, it's kind of a crazy story. I'll give it the short version.
We can save it, man, because if it's long, I'll just fucking save it for next time.
Well, I'll just tell you real quick.
Yeah.
I was at Laugh Boston, and this is at the time when I had legit beef with my son's mom, her whole family. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I get a call from her mom at Laugh Boston. I had just introduced somebody on stage. I think it was... that fucking weird ass dude, Dan something. I can't remember his last name.
Folger?
No, he's not from Boston. He was just performing at Laugh Boston. And she called me and she just told me like this parent's worst nightmare, dog. Like, cause my son's mom, I mean, she's doing better now. She had a nervous breakdown. So my son was just he was just getting all the backlash of this fucking nervous breakdown she was having, just, not take care of him the way it was. So it took me about like 6 months of just going back and forth to court and trying to prove shit. And I was like, I got to get this kid. Like, his life literally depends on me, dog. So I'll get into the details of that on the next one.
Yeah, we'll get on the next one. Because I just wanted to leave on something other. Like, if you're listening and you don't like the word bitch, this is the wrong podcast.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
I'll release a feminist episode where I dub over that with women in mine or Rob's voice. And my producer Rob's voice, it's just Jason, and then Rob in a white voice goes, woman.
Just dubbed over every time.
But
like a kung fu movie.
I wanted to end on like this path of progression because obviously that's a motif of what we're doing here, but because I think that shit's powerful, and it is better when you come to that realization.
Yeah.
You said something I wanted to end on this. Comedy was your whole world, and it was for me too.
Yeah.
It dominated everything.
Right.
I became better when I made my family and my real life.
When you start living life, and then you talk and you bring your life to your comedy, instead of comedy to your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
When your job or your career or whatever, when you try and make that the focal point, you're living for that. That's wrong.
It's
man.
like any job. It's like if your fucking whole life was just being a lawyer, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know
those dudes, a lot of lawyers do coke and just have nervous breakdowns.
What? Oh, so many of them. We're gonna end on that.
Well, guys, Jason Cordova. Jason, you want to plug any stuff?
Yeah. Just follow me on all social media. _Cordova, Cordova. If you want to check my podcast out, it's Poker Table Talk. It's on all streaming platforms. And yeah, that's about it, man. When comedy comes back, I would have some shows to plug. But right now, I don't do stand-up. I'm a stand-up comedian that doesn't do stand-up. And
I
that's
feel
about
it, dude.
Me, Mike, we're making some skits. We got some skits in the work. You and Alex and Liam.
Film that someday. I got a show tomorrow in Randolph.
Yeah, they asked me to do that show, but I couldn't. I had to work my work schedule around it. You got a call from Corey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
Am I the white replacement? I'm the one white dude on the show.
Yeah, I know. I seen the flyer. I feel like a movie star. This is who got the part,
dude. Whenever my friends and family see that, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna have a tough time." And I'm like, dude, I've been doing black rooms for years. Like, just because you haven't seen me on the weekends, like you guys are getting drunk. What do you think I do, man? Like a room's a fucking room.
Yeah,
like,
it literally is, dog. And it's like, it's a little different, but it's like you still got to be funny.
I think it's more fun.
Yeah, the objective is the same.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for having me. Thanks for coming on, Jason. This is a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, like always.
And guys, thanks for listening. Peace.
All right, cool.